what I was trying to do was this part dealing with social cognitive neuroscience. I was trying to transform it into a negative version of social cognitive neuroscience, as you probably noticed. So I'm trying to use social cognitive neuroscience language, or just neuroscientific language, in this chapter to show the negative human, to show the negative nature of social bond, and just instead of using psychoanalytic and existential terms, relying instead on the findings and conceptualization of social cognitive neuroscience. And I'm dealing mostly with Matthew Lieberman research, who is one of the founders of social cognitive neuroscience. The neuroscience, the study of the brain that deals with sociality of the brain. So what Matthew Lieberman basically does, he revises Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So the standard comprehension of human needs, with the basic needs as physiological needs like food and other physiological needs, then safety, then love, belonging, and then this doesn't bother us at all. So what he does, he claims that based on his research, he claims that love and belonging is supposed to be considered as main needs. They are more important than physiological needs. They're the basic, profound human needs. That just, so he places it here. So that just because, according to research in social cognitive neuroscience, it turned out once again that human brain is profoundly social, and the default mode of human brain is thinking about others, or what we call mentalization. Meaning when we think about nothing, when we don't direct our thinking, it automatically falls into being directed towards others, thinking about others, which based on this, we can claim that we are the thought, the reflection of the other. And we can also claim that the brain is social. It's not only that it's separate in brain of the individual, but it's something, the instance of connectivity with others. So it's not isolated, it's social, and sociality is our profound human need, more important than the need for physiological need or the need for safety, like basic human, the most important need. And based on this research, he and Naomi Eisenberg and other social cognitive neuroscience, and generally in psychology too, they would talk about social pain. Social pain is something that ensures that the basic need of human being, this is social need for belonging and love, would be satisfied. So we can define social pain as the experience of social rejection, the pain that we feel when we experience the social rejection or exclusion or loss, something connected with our social body. And their research would claim that, would show rather, that this is the real pain. It's not metaphorical pain. Social pain is not metaphorical pain, but it's the real pain, similar to pain of a physical body, and maybe even more profound. And with their reasoning, it's we develop the ability to feel the social pain to make sure that our need in sociality would be satisfied, because it's very important for us to belong to. The social need is very important for us, and therefore we need some mechanism to ensure that this need would be satisfied. But my problem with it is that this explains, I like and I agree with there is social pain, and it's very important, and the other is very important to us. But the problem with this conceptualization of social pain as something useful within evolution, something that exists for a reason, and something that is developed as adaptation and developed for to improve and change survival. This is, which means to serve the survival needs. I have a problem with this understanding of evolution, as we will see next month when we will talk about evolution. For me, evolution is not about adaptation, and you cannot explain it with reasoning, with improvements and progress, and not all the things are there for a reason, or rather reason seen, especially adaptational reason seen in evolution, can be just the something imposed, the perspective that imposed on it afterwards, after something occurs in evolution. It's basically can be also considered meaningless, and without servicing the goal of survival. There is nothing in evolution that improves or is interested in survival. And from this point, but this is the normal scientific reasoning, to see something as servicing the need of survival and to secure survival. And for me, reducing social pain to finding reason for it, and reasoning why is this for, especially seeing it as a part of adaptation and as something that aimed for survival, is not seeing exactly the value, the profound value of the social pain. Because it means that this pain is not absurd. This pain is there functioning to secure the connection between people. And therefore, if we see reason as something in this intense social pain, it means we are not able to see, we avoid seeing the tragedy of it and the absurd character of it. This is similar with suffering. Once we impose the meaning of suffering, it's not suffering. It's we lose, because suffering is absurd. So talking about social pain as useful as something that we feel, something that is real, important for us. We feel it in relation to others. I'm fine with this reasoning to this point, but claiming that it's there for a reason of survival or giving meaning of it, for me, it's not to appreciate it fully, not to recognize it fully. It's like talking about social pain in order not to stop talking about pain, like to find the reason for it, that it's not absurd, that we are actually, there is a reason why we do it, and why we are connected through the social pain. And explaining why others are suffering to us, making the suffering that others are reasonable, and claiming that it has a benefit of survival. So it's not meaningless. It's not recognizing its meaninglessness. And from this perspective, I would claim that, let's come back again to the pyramid of needs. So even I already put the love and belonging at the basis of it. So it is this time actually reversed one. The other problem is that even though Lieberman sees comprehends the profound sociality of our brain, and claims that the social pain is the real pain, and it's very important, as important as for us, or even more than the pain of a physical body, he still reduces the need for the other, the need for belonging to the need. And need means that, so he explains it as a profound, but it's a need. And if we are talking about a need, conceptualizing it in this way, we still frame the comprehension of a social pain into the framework of egoistic subject. It is the need of egoistic, isolated subject. It is sociality, but sociality is still, we start with one subject who has a need for the other, and then there is connection with the other to satisfy this need. It's still framing, still coming back to this first individualistic framework, where the subject comes first, the other sociality is the need of a subject. So it's not quite stepping out, if you call it a need. It's not quite stepping out of this position of that early Freud represents, that there is the egoistic subject and then sociality. So I wouldn't call it a need, rather. So this perspective, the individualistic perspective, we are staying within. When there is a subject first, the main stuff, then comes, then there is the need for sociality, and social bond is formed, and therefore there is society as something secondary. It's not actually recognizing the actual profound sociality of a human being. But based on Lieberman perspective, we can also use his research, what he claims to support the position where sociality is first. Sociality is the real stuff, because if our brains are hyper social, we can see them as point of interconnectedness with others. It's not brain isolated in itself, and plus the need of sociality is the point of interconnectedness with others. So there is this interconnectedness first as the true stuff, and the individuality is optional. The separation is optional, but sociality is not. The interconnectedness is not. But we can also use it to support the third position that we were discussing, position where neither subject nor society actually exists. And the real stuff would be pain. So there is no subject, there is no society. That's the quote. So Lieberman's research can be used to see not the individual as the real stuff, and nor the society as the real stuff, but actually pain as real. We start with pain, pain of rupture, and this pain, out of this pain appears the illusion of either subjectivity as the instance of this pain, someone who feels the pain is individual, and illusion of interconnectedness as a longing for the other that at the same time fails. So there is the pain, and there's a picture to show it. There is no subject, no sociality. We can call that there is a pain, or I can express all of my reasoning with the lines here. So if we take Lieberman perspective and claim that the concept of a social pain is the analog of the concept of lack in psychoanalysis, or emptiness in existentialism, the lack or rupture that at the same time connects and disconnects. If you hear nothingness or rupture between us that nonetheless connects us, we can claim that social pain is here, and this is the actual stuff that creates both the subject, but we're talking today about the social bond and the social bond. So it connects and disconnects, and it feels like pain, like social pain. The problem with Lieberman's, not the problem, it's problem for me, but his framework, the way he presents his research is putting it into the positive framework of trying to improve society. So that's the normal conventional logic. Once we discover that something hurts, that there is social pain, that there is this need, the way he called it, need for the other, it means that we need to get rid of this pain, right? Heal this pain, or change the society to satisfy this need better, something like this, or appreciate this need in others, to be more careful with others, something like that. So again, in conventional framework, talking about the social pain, it means simultaneously with the aim of not talking, of denying this pain, of feeling the lack. If we're talking about lack, it is disclosed in a concept of its analog of a social pain, but to immediately get rid of it, to immediately deny it, like not to see it existential or ontological or constitutive nature. If there is a pain, it's something bad, we need to get rid of it. So in psychoanalysis, with the concept of a lack, there is more, it's more pessimistic in terms of that it sees it as a constitutive. It hurts, it's traumatic, but it's constitutive. It's inevitable. So in social cognitive neuroscience, to redirect it in the negative direction, we can see the social pain as constitutive for social bond and for the subject. It's something, and if it constitutes, and we can claim so, because if love is pain, then there is nothing else. If we get rid of social pain, you get rid of the sociality too. It's there to be substituted. So from this perspective, we can claim that it's not only that love and attachment are impossible without being secured by ability to feel social pain, but it's the stuff of both subjectivity and sociality. Sociality and is something that hurts. If you take away what hurts, you won't have a subject that is instance of a pain, and you won't have sociality that is articulated, that is constituted through social pain. There is nothing there. You can modify it maybe, or silence it to be, but it is the stuff that connects and disconnects at the same time, and that's why it's painful. We can claim that this pain, if it's us, both sociality and as a social bond and as subjects, then we can claim metaphorically ill with each other, or not metaphorically. And this illness is us. It's constitutive to us, both as individuals, as subjects, and as a collective, as a social bond. And with the positive frameworks that, for example, represented by the strategies for healthy relationship, or the idea that of our afterlife, that when we'll meet our loved ones. So any positive framework that offers the idea that we can get rid of this lack that separates us and connects us at the same time, that we can be directly connected without the rupture, or denies the social pain that is not necessary. We can somehow connect with each other better and avoid social pain, like it's not the core stuff of the connectivity. All of those positive strategies, they basically want to get rid of social pain, or to conceal it in a way, or they are something secondary, that just illusionary, that helps us to sustain the pain of being with others. But pain will never go away, because it's the only thing that is there, constituted. If there is no pain, there is no this kind of social pain. It means that there is no instance of the pain, and there is nothing that this pain creates, meaning the connectivity with the other. All right, it was long today. I'll stop recording and I'll come back in a second.